Word on the street says P. Diddy is now being compared to the likes of individuals like R. Kelly. 50 Cent, an age-long observer of Diddy, even announced he'll produce a series about him similar to Surviving R. Kelly, with proceeds going to assault survivors. Well, it's no news that Diddy has a long list of victims who have suffered tragically ever since he was arrested for attacking an executive with a chair, a phone, and a champagne bottle in 1999. This video looks into the lives of individuals involved with Diddy who met tragic ends and sheds some light on the muddy waters of popularity and compromise. Keep watching. Notorious B.I.G. It's no surprise that this guy happens to be among the first on this list, given the type of relationship the two men had. The relationship between Puff Diddy and Notorious B.I.G., whose real name was Christopher Wallace, was both professional and deeply personal. They met in the early 1990s, and Diddy, recognizing Biggie's raw talent, signed him to his newly formed label, Bad Boy Records, in 1993. This partnership was transformative for both of their careers. Biggie's debut album, Ready to Die, released in 1994, catapulted him to stardom and solidified Diddy's reputation as a visionary in the music industry. Biggie's success with hits like Juicy and Big Papa brought significant attention to Bad Boy Records, and he quickly became the face of the label. Diddy and Biggie's relationship extended beyond the studio. They were close friends and confidants. Diddy often expressed that he saw Biggie as more than just an artist he managed. He was like a brother to him. However, their success came during a really bad time in hip-hop, marked by the infamous East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Biggie and Tupac Shakur, once friends, became central figures in this feud. The tension worsened after Tupac was shot in 1994 and publicly blamed Biggie and Diddy, although no concrete evidence ever surfaced to support this claim. The rivalry continued to intensify, contributing to a volatile environment within the hip-hop community. On March 9, 1997, after leaving a party hosted by Vibe magazine in Los Angeles, Biggie was killed in a drive-by shooting. He was sitting in an SUV with Diddy just a few cars away. Despite numerous investigations and conspiracy theories involving gang conflicts and police corruption, Biggie's murder remains unsolved. Rodney Jones Jr.'s disturbing experience with Diddy. Rodney Jones Jr., aka Lil Rod, began working with Diddy on the Love album, Off the Grid, in 2022. Initially, it seemed like a promising opportunity for Jones to advance his music career. But during their collaboration, Diddy allegedly subjected Jones to unwanted touching, and according to news sources, he attempted to groom him. This manipulation involved a lot of inappropriate behavior that Jones struggled to navigate, given Diddy's power and influence in the industry. In 2023, at a party, Diddy reportedly forced Jones to drink tequila mixed with drugs. Jones later woke up naked with a sex worker beside him, having no memory of what had happened. The incident marked a severe violation of Jones' personal boundaries and trust. It was also said that Diddy further manipulated Jones by offering money and threatening violence to coerce him into soliciting sex workers and performing sex acts. This coercion deeply impacted Jones' mental health and sense of autonomy. That's enough to make someone's life very tragic. In early 2024, he bravely filed a lawsuit against Diddy, detailing the abuse and manipulation he endured. Of course, Diddy denied the allegations, calling them lies aimed at extorting money. But despite his denials, Jones' lawsuit added to the growing number of accusations against the music mogul. Black Rob. Black Rob's demise left a lot of unanswered questions for many individuals in the music industry. Black Rob, whose real name was Robert Ross, joined Bad Boy Records in the mid-1990s, quickly becoming a prominent figure within the label. His debut album, Life Story, released in 2000, went platinum, cementing his place in the rap industry. Diddy and Black Rob had a professional relationship, characterized by mutual respect and collaboration, with Diddy often supporting Black Rob's musical endeavors, or so it seemed to everyone. Despite his early success, Black Rob's later years saw him running into severe health issues and financial difficulties. He suffered from multiple strokes, kidney failure, and diabetes, which greatly had an effect on his life and career. In the years leading up to his death, Black Rob was homeless and struggled to afford medical treatment. His plight became public when he appeared in a video from a hospital bed, revealing his dire circumstances while offering condolences for fellow rapper DMX. As we later found out, Black Rob passed away on April 17, 2021, at the age of 52, due to cardiac arrest. After his passing, Diddy paid tribute to Black Rob, expressing his sorrow and admiration for the late rapper. But there were a lot of mixed reactions regarding his support, with many criticizing him for not doing enough sooner. And they were right, because Rob's death could have been avoided if only Diddy had done something while the rapper was still in a vegetative state. So while it was all sorrow for the industry over his death on one hand, they never ceased pointing accusing fingers towards Diddy for having something to do with Black Rob's demise on the other hand. Cassie Ventura. Cassie Ventura met Diddy in 2005 when she was 19, and what started as a professional relationship quickly turned personal. By 2007, Diddy allegedly pressured her into dating him, using his immense influence to intimidate her. During their decade-long relationship, Cassie endured a lot of severe physical and emotional abuse. Diddy had reportedly given her drugs and exhibited uncontrollable rage, frequently beating her in a savage manner. Cassie often had to hide in hotels for days until her bruises healed. This constant fear and intimidation led her to blindly follow his instructions to avoid further beatings. According to her, Diddy forced her into what he called freak-offs, where she had to perform sexual acts with sex workers while he watched. These encounters were almost always fueled by drugs, like ecstasy, cocaine, and ketamine. This was another way he further traumatized her, so that he could exert control over her. Recently, a 2016 surveillance video surfaced showing Diddy violently attacking Cassie at a luxury hotel in Los Angeles. And the footage confirmed her allegations of abuse, showing Diddy throwing her to the ground, kicking her, and attempting to drag her back to their room. This graphic evidence added weight to her claims and sparked public outrage. In 2018, Cassie tried to leave Diddy for good. After breaking up with him at dinner, he allegedly forced his way into her home and raped her. This brutal act marked the culmination of years of abuse and control. In November 2023, Cassie sued the man for sexual assault and sex trafficking. Her lawsuit told stories of years of abuse, including physical beatings, rape, and coercion into sexual acts. Diddy denied the allegations, accusing Cassie of seeking a payday. But the case was settled the day after it was filed. Cassie stated that she wanted some level of control over the resolution, while Diddy's lawyer insisted the settlement was not an admission of wrongdoing. Cassie's brave decision to come forward opened the floodgates for other victims. Multiple women filed similar lawsuits against Diddy, alleging rape, drugging, and trafficking. Federal raids on Diddy's properties in Los Angeles and Miami Beach in 2024 indicated a broader investigation into sex trafficking allegations. Ventura's lawsuit also shows that Combs and his team used his power and money to silence her. His employees allegedly threatened to ruin her music career if she spoke out. Ventura added that Combs threatened to blow up rapper Kid Cudi's car because Cudi was dating her. The car later exploded. A spokesperson for Kid Cudi confirmed the car explosion to The Times, saying, "This is all true." Cassie has now escaped Diddy's grasp, but the trauma she endured will haunt her forever. Tupac Shakur. The incident involving Tupac just speaks of how vast Diddy's influence has been in the music industry. Lucene Parish Crooks, widely known as Tupac Shakur, Tupac was a monumental figure in hip-hop, whose life and career were tragically cut short in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in 1996. His death remains one of the most infamous events in music history. intertwined with the intense East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry that also involved Diddy. But how did he also get entangled in this? Tupac's relationship with Diddy was deeply affected by the bitter rivalry between the East Coast Bad Boy Records, led by Diddy, and the West Coast Death Row Records, with which Tupac was affiliated. Initially, Tupac and Diddy, alongside the notorious B.I.G., shared a mutual respect within the hip-hop community. However, it all went straight to hostilities after Tupac was shot and robbed in 1994 at a New York recording studio. He accused Diddy and Biggie of having prior knowledge of the attack, which they both denied. The tension between both sides worsened through diss tracks and public insults, most notably Tupac's Hit 'Em Up, which explicitly targeted Diddy and Biggie. Then everything reached its peak when Tupac was shot again, this time fatally, on September 7, 1996. While leaving a boxing match in Las Vegas with Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, Shakur was hit by 4 bullets in a drive-by shooting, and he eventually succumbed to his injuries 6 days later. Years after the murder, theories and allegations about Diddy's involvement surfaced. Dwayne "KVD" Davis, a Southside Crips gang member, claimed that Diddy had offered him $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight. This claim was brought to light during an investigation led by former LAPD detective Greg Kading, who authored a book and produced a documentary detailing these allegations. Despite these allegations, Diddy has consistently denied any involvement in Tupac's murder, calling the stories pure fiction. The case saw renewed interest when KVD was arrested in 2023, nearly 3 decades after Tupac's death. However, no definitive evidence has come out linking Diddy to the crime directly. Yet, in the meantime, many celebrities, including Will Smith, have come out in an attempt to deny Diddy's involvement in Shakur's death and prove his innocence. Maybe he should stay put and not meddle in the murky waters of Diddy's controversies. Joy Dickerson-Neal. Inspired by Cassie Ventura's testimony, one of the women who came forward about Puffy's sexual abuse is Joy Dickerson-Neal, and this happened in the early 90s. In 1991, Joy, a young woman with dreams and aspirations, met Diddy. Trusting him, she soon found herself in a horrifying situation. In a shocking turn of events, Diddy had drugged Joy and then raped her. This traumatic experience had left her devastated and marked the beginning of her long struggle with emotional and psychological scars. The power imbalance in Diddy's control made it difficult for her to seek justice at the time. So, for decades, she lived with the haunting memories of that night. The trauma affected nearly every aspect of her life, from personal relationships to her mental health. Despite the profound impact, the fear of Diddy's power and influence kept her silent. Inspired by the wave of courage from other victims and the broader Me Too movement, Joy decided to come forward. And in late 2023, she filed a lawsuit against Diddy, alleging drugging and rape. Her lawsuit detailed the harrowing night and the long-lasting effects of Diddy's actions. Diddy still denies the allegations, calling them fabrications aimed at damaging his reputation. Despite his denials, Joy's case added to the mounting evidence of Diddy's abusive behavior. Andre Harrell. Andre Harrell was a pioneering music executive who founded the Uptown Records in 1986, where Diddy and several other artists rose from. Harrell's relationship with Diddy was transformative for both men. Diddy began his career at Uptown Records in the late 1980s as an intern, where he quickly impressed Harrell with his work ethic and eye for talent. Harrell promoted Diddy to a talent director position, allowing him to work with artists such as Mary J. Blige and Jodeci, shaping their sounds and helping them achieve mainstream success. You remember that old saying that wherever you see flies, there's a carcass? It happens to be true for Diddy because his tenure at Uptown Records was not without problems. Known for his opinionated personality and ambitious nature, Diddy clashed with Harrell several times, although these were innocent clashes at first. However, Andre Harrell's sudden death on May 7, 2020, at the age of 59 from heart failure, raised major concerns across the community. In the days following Harrell's death, Diddy shared heartfelt messages on social media, expressing his grief and gratitude. But who knows, behind these emotional renditions could have been a vicious heart who plotted the whole narrative in the first place. Almost everyone he's worked with has died from some illness. So how can we be so sure now, especially as Diddy has refused to be forthcoming with the authorities so far? Heavy D. Last but still not a survivor in our list of Diddy's victims is Heavy D. Born Dwight Arrington Myers, Heavy D was a rapper and record producer who was instrumental in the development of Uptown Records, where Diddy got his start. Heavy D was known for his influence in blending hip-hop with R&B, creating a sound that dominated the charts in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Heavy D and Diddy shared a professional relationship, with Heavy D playing a crucial role in Diddy's early career. Tragically, too, Heavy D passed away in November 2011 at the age of 44 from a pulmonary embolism. By now, you must have noticed the chain of narrative and the events leading up to the deaths of some of these men. They're all similar in the order of decline: health issues and death. I mean, no wonder Jaguar Wright went on to explain this same chain of deaths recently. Currently, the string of lawsuits and disturbing details has led to a significant public reckoning for Diddy. Brands and partners are distancing themselves from him, and his business ventures are taking hits. Federal raids on properties linked to Diddy suggest an ongoing criminal investigation, adding another layer of issues. Diddy's case is drawing comparisons to other high-profile accusations in the music industry, such as those against R. Kelly and Russell Simmons. So what do you think about the ordeals of these people, of those who found courage to speak up and several others who were too dead to do so? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching.